everyone, it's Erin Floater here, and I am here with Mason, who is adorable, but he wouldn't stop crying for me to film this video, so he needed to be on my lap. And he'll probably be annoying through this whole process. So if you don't like cats, well, first of all, shame on you. Cats are amazing. Second of all, sorry in advance. Hello. Sorry. So, this is more of a vlog style video, if you can't tell. I like to do these kinds of videos every once in a while, or I'm starting to like doing these videos every once in a while, even though it's like scary to show your face on the internet, because you guys usually see my hands, not my face, and my cat almost fell. So one of the things that I wanted to talk to you guys about today, and a lot of you guys have kind of noticed when it came to my voice in the past few videos, my planning style in the past few videos, is that I've been in quite a planner rut, as they say. So as I've talked about in some of these videos, it's really just this constant vicious cycle when it comes to being stressed. So you're not using your bullet journal, but you need to use your bullet journal to help you not be stressed. And so it just keeps going and going and going when your stress just kind of magnifies because you haven't been using your bullet journal. So I'm going to talk about today some of the things that I've been doing to combat this, and some things that may help you guys if you ever feel like you're in a planner rut. So one of the things that I usually do is to change it up. So a lot of weeks you guys have been seeing me do a lot of the similar box type style spreads or horizontal spreads or something to that effect. So for the past couple of months I've been trying to change it up a little bit, where I am finding inspiration from other people. So for example, my weekly this past week was inspired by Plants That Blossom. In February I had one inspired by Cindy Gunter-Baldo. So a lot of things that I like to do when I'm in a planner rut is just to change it up, and I need other people to help me with layouts when it comes to changing it up, or otherwise I won't really do any sort of change. So that's one of the ways that I've been combating this rut that I've been in. One of the other ways, especially what I did today, is I kept my bullet journal open all day. So on my desk at work, it was literally open the entire time I was working, and it was literally right next to my keyboard. So that way I kept looking down to it. So whenever I would type something, I would see it there and I would be like, oh, I need to update this. I need to do this task. And I need to add this for tomorrow because it won't get done today. So that's one of the ways that I've been combating it a little bit, is just to put it in my eyesight, because if it's in my eyesight, it's on my mind. One of the other things that I've been doing to escape this planner rut is to reinvigorate myself when it comes to social media. If you guys haven't been able to tell, I haven't been on social media as much. I haven't been commenting on other people's posts that much, and I think it's because I was just inundated with too much inspiration at times. So I was feeling like, oh, here are all these beautiful spreads, and I can't put together a spread to save my life right now. So, and I felt kind of guilty, which is silly, I know, but I felt kind of guilty because people find me a source of inspiration on Instagram for designs. So I felt guilty not being able to produce new things that other people would find helpful. So I took a back seat. I unplugged from a lot of social media except for showing off what was going on at the wedding I was at for the past weekend, which the wedding was beautiful, by the way, if you hadn't seen any of those stories on Instagram. But outside of that, I really took a step back social media wise. I've been posting less, commenting less, And I'm sorry for those that I'm inspired by, but I have not been commenting and I have not seen your lovely pieces of work, because it's just the mindset that I'm in is I needed to reel back. So the other thing that I've realized it has been helping me is when it comes to the wedding planning aspect, I've been feeling so overwhelmed because I have not really taken the time to look at task by task what happens. I've just been putting the large scale goals, like do wedding escort cards or something like that. But breaking it down task by task is important because it shows you that each task is only a couple minutes each. For example, instead of doing wedding escort cards, I could say cut up the watercolor paper that I'm using to make my escort cards, drip the water color paper in the navy solution, letter on the escort cards, add table numbers. So you can do it in those incremental steps, and that might help when it comes to the planner rut, because even though it's a really long list, everything on that list is somewhat accomplishable. You're somewhat able to accomplish in a quicker time frame. Instead of saying, do this big task, you're saying, do these small tasks, and then this big task gets done. So doing kind of a hierarchy of tasks. So those are a few of my tips when it comes to bullet journaling and being in a planner rut. The other thing to do is to kind of evaluate if the bullet journaling method is still right for you. In this stage of my life, I feel like it's still right for me. I feel like the type of personality I have is very task-oriented and very visual, and I like a lot of fluidness. These are all great words. Fluidness to my planning, where I don't have such a structured look at my day every single day. And that's one of the nice things about bullet journaling, is you can have that fluidity. That's the word, fluidity. So not every spread looks exactly the same. And that is one of the things that I love about bullet journaling, and I really need. So reevaluating to see if bullet journaling is right for you at all, or if you need to introduce other things. For example, my work, I do a lot of digital planning because that is how our meeting notes are. So I need to combine both digital planning using the Outlook application and calendar with my bullet journal, so I can visually see and people can schedule meetings with me, but I can also visually see it on my bullet journal. So those are a couple things. If you want me to talk more about bullet journaling and technology and things like that, and kind of my system and how I combine those two different things, let me know in the comments below, because that's something that I'm interested in making a video about, so that you guys can take a look and see how I plan daily at work and how I combine that with my bullet journal. So that's one of the things that I'm interested in, and I hope you guys are too. So let me know in the comments below if you are. One of the last things that I want to say in this probably too long video that's very vloggy is, yes, Max, come here, jump. Okay, so one of the last things that I want to talk about Max, they can't see me. Yeah. That's a little rude, Max. Max, come here. Okay, one of the last things that I want to talk about in this video is perseverance, because there is a stigma around perseverance, but it's honestly something that I kind of believe in. So I know perseverance is a hard thing, but no matter what happens in terms of making a weekly but not being able to really use it very well, or having spreads that just go undone, is the thought process of just turning the page. So if something doesn't work for you, I promise it's not the end of the world. Even though sometimes it feels like it, right? Because then you don't feel like you've accomplished that thing. For example, my order tracker for March, I literally never opened my shop in March, so my order tracker just did not happen. And it's an unfortunate thing because, you know, that brings in extra income. Having a shop is something that I love to do, but it just wasn't in the cards this month. So I actually wrote that on the order tracker. I wrote not in the cards for this month, and turn the page, and one day maybe I'll jot down why it wasn't in the cards, because I had surgery, because I was overwhelmed, because the wedding planning got to be a point where me closing down my shop was self-care for myself. So perseverance is important, but not in a cliche way. But I do think that the act of turning the page in your bullet journal is an important thing to have, because if you screw up, or if you don't use one thing and you want to throw your bullet journal away, I understand the temptation to just start over, but such a beautiful thing about the bullet journal system is the fact that you can turn the page. And I've done this a lot of times, especially when I was first starting out and overwhelmed, or just when I wasn't recording videos. Videos keep me accountable a little bit more, but when I wasn't recording videos, I would go an entire month and not use it. So being able to turn the page and say, well, that didn't work out, here's the next month, it can show you a snapshot of what was going in your life at that time. And I think that is an important memory to keep when it comes to your bullet journal, and shows your perseverance by turning the next page. So I urge you not to just throw away your bullet journal when you're in a rut, when things aren't working, but to maybe put in a quote page and just say, you know, I couldn't handle this. This is the quote that I am using to try to overcome this situation, and just try to turn the page, which is what I'm doing with this whole last month, because it went, the month itself was not terrible, but the planning aspect of the month, not great. So I hope you guys find something useful out of this video. I hope you guys like this kind of video. I know vlog style isn't generally what I do, but I think it's important for you guys to see my face, for me to talk real about some issues that I'm having, because a lot of you guys have definitely noticed in the tone of my voice that things planning wise have been quite exhausting, and that videos have seemed exhausting, and I just want to be upfront with you guys about it. So again, I hope you guys like this video. If you do, like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, all that kind of jazz. I'll see you next time. Bye, everyone.